You need to stop doing this if you have body dysmorphia. Guys, welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Tom Hobbs and I'm a body image mentor, and I'm someone who suffered with body dysmorphia for the best part of 15 years. And there was this recurring thing, this recurring theme that I kept doing, trying to become more confident in my body, love my body, change my body, and ultimately change the way I saw myself. And that was jumping from program to program. That is training program to training program, meal plan to meal plan, coach to coach. Because for me, I thought the only way that I was going to overcome my body dysmorphia, feel confident, feel worthy, get rid of this lack, this inferiority complex that I had. The only way I thought I was going to be able to do that was to lose the weight, was to have a lower body fat percentage, and was to physically look better. And whilst that is obviously true, right, that's what we are all working towards, me jumping from program to program, meal plan to meal plan, coach to coach was neglecting what was actually going on for me, because I would have periods where I would actually lose weight, or I would put on muscle, I would visibly change in a before and after photo, but I was still never happy. I still didn't have the confidence that I thought I would have if I lost the 5 kilos, the 10 kilos, if I looked visibly different. And it was confusing for me because I was like, okay, I can see that I look different, but why don't I feel any different? Why isn't my self-image any different? Why isn't the perception of myself any different? And the more this went on across my 15 years, the more frustrating it became, right? And the more I started to ingrain that this was never, ever going to change. And body dysmorphia was just something I was going to have to live with forever. And I see this in a lot of my clients as well. They come to me and they're like, yeah, like I have lost weight before, or I have put on muscle before, I have been successful before, but I don't know why it's not working. I don't know why I don't see myself any differently. Like, I just want to look in the mirror and love myself and genuinely feel confident, right? And this comes back to one thing, right? When we're jumping from program to program, when we think that the only answer is related to scales or body fat percentage or our muscle mass, again, we are missing what is actually going on, because body dysmorphia and that perception we hold of ourselves is simply a projection of a deeper issue. And that is our core story. Because for me, I was bullied in primary school, so growing up, for my chest and the way I looked, right? I have gynecomastia, man boobs, as is the easiest way for me to put it. And I got bullied when I was in year 5 and year 6. So because I got bullied, I told myself I was different. I thought I was different, and my reality reflected that. And then as this story grew, as these belief systems grew, as my perspective of myself was completely warped due to these experiences, that was me. That was who I was, right? And then my ego created a defense mechanism to basically protect that. So every time in the future years, the 15 years that I suffered with it, every time I tried to change my physique, internally, I was still the guy that got bullied. I was still the guy that didn't have confidence. I was still the bigger guy, right? I was still less than and different to all the other guys that I had around me or I looked up to on social media. So it didn't matter how much I changed in my physical world, the way my internal world was set up and the lens in which I saw myself through was never going to see the progress that I wanted until I actually realized that and started to shift my core story, right? Now, I'm not going to go into the depth of the core story in this video. I have other videos on it. I have a really great training that you can have access to if you drop a comment down below called Reverse Reality, where we get to the bottom and find this. But basically what this is the thing that creates all of our thoughts, all of our feelings, all of our actions, and then therefore all of the results that we actually see. And until we change this core story, this core narrative, and the lens in which we see ourselves through, no external change, no physical change is ever going to feel good enough. And as I said, it took me a long time to work this out, but when I did, I was actually able to start seeing progress. I was actually able to be the confident man because I was shifting my identity from the inside out, right? I see this in my clients all the time. They come to me in the same state that I was in. We work through their core story. We start to shift their inner world. We do some of the more mindset work, and then suddenly they're making more progress than ever before. They're being more consistent than ever before. They're actually identifying their progress. They're receiving compliments, and they're moving into this body that they've never seen before, away from this body dysmorphia and these body image insecurities, because now having body dysmorphia is in direct conflict with who they actually see themselves as. Whereas before, for me having body dysmorphia and me not liking what I saw, that was perfectly aligned with my core story, with my belief systems that I wasn't good enough, that I could never be confident, right? Those were a perfect match, right? And you will probably realize, if you're experiencing this too, that the way you truly see yourself, that is perfectly aligned with having insecurities, with seeing all of your flaws in your body, with not being able to create the physique that you want. Because if you created the physique that you want, that would go against this core story and the way you see yourself, right? So until you do the inner work, until you start to shift this, no physical work is ever going to feel good enough. And jumping from program to program is completely missing the point, right? Because you are dancing around the root cause of what's actually creating this, and you are only focusing on the surface level stuff, which might work for a little while, but it's not going to last long, right? Or it's never going to give you the results you actually want. And this is where I guess the work I do really comes in, is because I take someone, I hear, okay, this is the goals they have. This is the body they want to work into. These are the physical things they want to achieve. Okay, now we've got to work back a little bit, and we're going to go from inside out. We've got to understand how you've been seeing yourself, and we've got to go through that reverse reality process to shift your core story, which is going to shift your belief systems, which is going to shift how you think on a day-to-day basis, which is going to shift your feelings and emotions that you feel on a day-to-day basis, which is then going to impact your actions, which is then obviously going to impact the results you are able to get. And when you can understand this, right, you will become an entirely new person. Things will start opening up for you. Doors will open up, opportunities will open up, right? And progress will start to go through the roof, because everything is now aligned and you're not fighting against this negative identity that's been creating your body dysmorphia in the first place. So I implore you, if you're experiencing anything that I've mentioned in this video, stop jumping from training program to training program, trying different meal plans, trying these different strategies. Your strategy is likely not the issue. Your inner world and your core story is. And if you want to learn how to fix that, then reach out to me, drop a comment down below, follow me on Instagram. I also have a free Telegram group, which I'll link down below, because I am actually starting to move away from social media, because I really want to focus on helping people in a more in-depth and nuanced environment. And I just don't really want to do that on Instagram and TikTok anymore. I want to focus on these videos and also my free Telegram community, where you're going to have direct access to me. So those are all linked down below. And I promise you, as I said, once you understand what I've said in this video, like myself, you'll be able to break free from the control of body dysmorphia, get into the best shape of your life, and actually be able to see that, because your perspective of yourself will be totally different. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed. Throw down a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you in the next one.